What am I grilling today? Ta-da! Nothing. What? I'll talk about it right after this. You got to prepare. So the reason why I'm not grilling anything, my wife's cracking me up while I'm doing the video. She's in the window right here, silly girl. Yeah, let me burn this off a little bit. So I just got done cleaning the grill. I didn't grill anything today. I grilled, well, I didn't grill anything. What I did do was I cooked some brisket this morning. Now, last night, I cooked myself 4 burgers and 1 steak. I ate the steak, and then saved 2 because I knew that Sunday it was going to be a while before I could eat. And so, you know, those of you who don't know, I'm a Christian, so I go to church now, and so at church they always have lunch, right? And so most of the time I'm trying to do this 16, 18, 20 hour fast. But usually Saturday night to Sunday I don't do that, because Sunday they usually have some luncheon at church. You know, it's you know, and the woman that cooks our food is, you know, she's a good cook, but a lot of it's stuff that I don't or can't eat. And knowing this, preparing ahead, I grilled 2 extra burgers last night, and then I had some eggs last night, and I had some eggs this morning along with the 2 burgers I didn't eat last night. Now, that sustained me until I had to go to Walmart about 3 o'clock. Now, here's the cool thing. So, lunch at church was fried chicken. Box fried chicken. Now, it's easier for me to kind of fight that a little bit because I've been to a Tyson plant. I've delivered at these places, and the smell is enough to make you go, I don't know, right? But because of how it's engineered, because of the MSG, because you know how much I used to love Popeye's chicken, it smelled really good. Borderline good, I would say. That's a better term, borderline good, because I knew what it was, right? 58,000 ingredients, and it just, you know, at one point someone said, well, maybe you could peel off the skin and only have the meat. I'm like, no, that's very wasteful. And that meat is infused with a bunch of crap too. So I just didn't eat. So I felt pretty good though, because I had eaten a few hours before. Now, I did have to go to Walmart, and I was starting to get hungry. So what I ended up doing was buying a couple of boiled eggs and some Swiss cheese. And I would have got some cooked bacon, but they didn't have any. But the Swiss cheese has the least amount of ingredients. It was basically salt, milk, and enzymes. That's it. That was all that was in the Swiss. And the eggs, of course, you know, whatever they're packaged with, you know, the boiled eggs. But I looked, there was no like last minute options that I could eat, like 0, without cooking something. But I had planned ahead. And that's the thing. That's one of the biggest challenges, is that you know, as truck drivers, we have unpredictable schedules. So I would try to plan ahead for the worst. So when I was in the truck, I had a Hot Logic Mini. I threw a couple burger patties in there, so it didn't matter if I was driving way late, the burgers would be there. At home, I just try to cook ahead. So when I fire up this grill, I'll do like 8 burgers at once, eat 2 or 3 of them, and then the rest get saved. You know, whenever I'm cooking something for the family, I'll cook extra for me so I can have it, like the pork chops the other day. And that's usually good. And then eggs, I try to have boiled eggs on hand. So like I'll buy like 2 or 3 dozen eggs, and I'll boil a dozen of them. But a lot of times, you know, Costco's got some pretty cool pre-packaged boiled eggs that aren't bad. And this is probably good enough. And that'll usually sustain. But here's the thing, though. After a couple of eggs and a couple of pieces of cheese, I was fine. And I wasn't hangry. I wasn't like jonesing. I just wanted something light, you know, something light and easy. Well, unfortunately, convenience food has a cost. Even the cheap stuff. You can grab a hot dog for $1 at Costco, but you know what? It's going to have a lot of crap in it. And you know, in a lot of these studies that have been done on how meat causes colon cancer, there's a wide spectrum of meat that they were looking at. And a lot of it was processed meat, like pepperoni and like hot dogs and sauce. You know, some of the sausage has like corn syrup solids and gracious amounts of sugar and dextrose and all that stuff, right? But planning ahead is important. And I know a lot of people are living by their seat, man. They're living minute by minute, and they don't know what they can do next. And so if you find yourself knowing that you're going to be in a bad situation, like a road trip, or you're going to be if you're a truck driver, you're a shipper receiver for a while, you know, at worst you get Uber Eats or DoorDash and get some burger patties sent to your truck. You know, I mean, we all have, you know, and there's going to be a day where you won't be able to do that. So you try to do the least amount of damage as possible. And that's where the processed meats like ham and it may not be too bad, but you're not going to feel good afterwards. Especially if you're eating super clean carnivore like I am now, you're going to notice just a little bit of additives that are added. So we're on day 36, still holding steady about 279, 280, depending on how much water I've drank. Just 4 more days of me doing videos every day for 40 days. And then we're going to do this big extravaganza of the pros and cons. I'm going to get into the pros and cons of what I've experienced for the last, you know, for the whole 40 days. And we're going to point out a few things that maybe you didn't know, and we're going to point out things that should have been obvious to you, but you've been gaslighted. And yeah, it's gaslighting's real, right? So sugar brings sadness, not happiness. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Peace.